right. Good morning, guys. Morning. How's everyone doing today? Wednesday, June 29th. Almost done with the month. Yeah, we got a pretty nasty upstart downgrade this morning. So yesterday, I can't say that wasn't expected, right? I don't think any of us can say that we don't quite understand what happened yesterday, right? I mean, it just big push on Friday, right? Big push on Friday based off absolutely nothing to the upside over that 11.8 resistance. We got a little bit of a squeeze up towards the next level around 12.250, and I can't really say that I didn't expect that move yesterday. So it's just a move that basically gives up the fake upside move that we saw on Friday that was based off no catalyst, no nothing, just pretty much a short squeeze above a key level, and you are right back below that. You are right back below Friday's levels, and it's this market is still bearish, guys. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, right? There's nothing positive coming out. The economic data still looks bad. Macro factors are still ugly. So just a pretty self-explanatory move to the downside yesterday. We'll go ahead and look at it on the NASDAQ, on the ES. Obviously, you guys know from my video yesterday, I sort of fumbled yesterday. Didn't really do great. But it is what it is. Today's a new day. We make money today. We make it back today. Plenty of opportunity on every single trading day, right? So yesterday, like it never happened, preparing for today, getting ourselves ready. Why did shop crash? Oh my God, shop's to 35. What happened? So it is what it is. Today's a new day. We're gonna focus on some new opportunities. A lot of opportunities out there today, guys. Definitely should be an interesting day. On top of all of that, we have a lot of economic data today, guys. We have GDP revisions this morning at 8:30. We have Jerome Powell speaking at the ECB. And then tomorrow we have inflation numbers. So it's going to be a pretty packed Wednesday, Thursday here. Plenty of opportunity, and let's go ahead and find our moves today. So let's do it. If you guys want to press the like button nice and early, that would be very much appreciated. Here is the schedule for today. So futures, economic earnings calendar, of course, guys. I'll go ahead and pull up the economic calendar for us real quick, just so that we know what's coming out. 8:30, so we'll be here on the stream at 8:30. In about 27 minutes, we have GDP revisions. This is going to be very important. At 9 o'clock, 30 minutes before open, we have Jerome Powell at the ECB. And then tomorrow, we have inflation numbers. And we have consumer numbers. So very interesting. You guys saw yesterday that the consumer confidence index was not very good. One of the lowest in a very long time. That's part of the reason you saw the downside yesterday. Can't imagine we have a much different event here on consumer spending, nominal personal income, etc. So PCE inflation numbers tomorrow. Today, GDP revisions here at 8:30 in about 24 minutes. We'll have to see what happens. This could obviously affect our technical analysis. As you guys know, macroeconomic events, macroeconomic news is something that can invalidate technical analysis. So we have to understand that coming into today. Okay, so Google, clean as hell rejection. You know, we talked about this yesterday. Absolutely gorgeous rejection on Google. Let's take a look at that. Let's get an idea of what happened. Tesla, some levels to watch today on Tesla. Meta, you guys saw that beautiful rejection on Facebook. I call it Facebook. You can call it Meta, but I like calling it Facebook. So a beautiful rejection on Facebook yesterday, guys, as planned. We talked about this in the live stream. Let's go ahead and review that. Coin, watching this 4-hour bear flag on Coin. I think this is very interesting. Coin is not in a good situation. Coin bonds have been downgraded to junk status, which is not very good for the company and something that I think will put pressure on the stock. So Coin 4-hour bear flag, definitely something I'm watching. That head and shoulder that we've been watching on Amazon, guys, if you come to the live stream, I'm sure you know we've been talking about this. The Amazon head and shoulder formation showed itself yesterday, definitely came true. Congratulations to you guys that caught that move. That was very, very nice. Boeing. We were watching that 142 level on Boeing yesterday for a potential break to the upside, and we did get the break to the upside. But, however, Boeing failed to hold that entire move that we saw yesterday morning and has closed back below 142. Now, this is very bearish in my opinion. For us to push above that breakout level and get sold off all day and close below that level, that 142 level, I think is something that we have to watch today. I think you're going to have opportunity here. XLE, beautiful stuff, holding up again. XLE looks pretty decent this morning, has held a very key $75 level, something I want to share with you guys. And then finally, NVIDIA is back towards its 155 demand, the level that we've been watching for a few weeks. We are trading right back at that demand zone. So a lot of stuff going on today, a lot of really clean charts. Of course, I share all of these charts every single day in my Discord community and in the free technicals down below. I post the technicals on the futures, and then you can always upgrade for individual stock analysis in that Discord as well. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Really excited about today. Looking forward to some of this opportunity. Let's do it. So first off is futures, right? Dustin, it's not out yet. It's at 8:30, my friend. All right, so here's the futures, guys. Let me delete this uptrend and just get a better look here. So very clean, right? I mean, it's really nice stuff here on the future side of things. You can clearly see the previous consolidation here, previous consolidation here, and look at where this market rejected, guys. Very, very clean. Just textbook stuff. Previous support here has turned into resistance, and we got that very nice rejection off this 12,250 level. Really nice stuff right there. You can see, what did we do yesterday, right? We moved all the way down into that Friday breakout level. So if you see where we pushed off on Friday, you guys know on Friday we broke that 11.8 and we got that big squeeze. Look at what we did yesterday. Quick to the upside means quick to the downside, right? This is something I talk about all the time on this live stream. If you squeeze up in this manner on the stock market, it is not something that should be trusted, right? Never trust a move like this, especially in a bear market, right? So you can see we got just a pretty ridiculous push to the upside based off pretty much nothing but a technical breakout. And yeah, we gave it all back right there yesterday. So basically, we are at the same exact point we were last week before we got that Friday breakout, just giving back that move yesterday. We're back below 11.8. And this is a major level because this is where we were watching last week for that breakout. Now we are trading back below 11.8. So being back below 11.8 is a bearish thing. We need to see what happens if we retest that 11.8 today. If we retest it and we reject it, then I would say there's a good opportunity to the downside. The next level that I'm watching to the downside here today, guys, is 11.5. This is the May low that we've talked about many times right here at 11.5. And you can see that we have previously bounced off that level. And I think if the market is weak, guys, I believe there is definitely a chance that we see that 11.5 test today. So I want to go into the hourly chart, and I want to show you guys sort of this on a shorter term time frame. So you can clearly see the rejection. You can clearly see the 11.8 level that fell through yesterday, and you can see we are right in between that 11.8 and 11.5. So in my opinion, guys, we're going to get one of two things today. We're either going to get the retest of 11.8 and the move down to 11.5. If the economic news is good, which I hate to be biased here, guys, but I just can't see it. I just can't see it for us to get upside off the economic data today. But, you know, it is what it is. It could happen. Maybe we see this. Very doubtful, in my opinion, but possible. Or we just see the move right down to 11.5 today, right? Those are some scenarios that I'm playing out in my head. Either a retest of 11.8, a rejection, turn this previous rejection into a rejection again, and move back down to that 11.5. That would be ideal because we get a nice little opportunity to play a rejection at a previous supply zone there at 11.8. So definitely some stuff I'm watching there. I want to show you guys the volume profile, and once again, just share with you guys why this move happened so quick yesterday. And it's pretty, I mean, this is what I talk about very often. I'm sure you guys are familiar with what I talk about here on the stream, but I want to just reiterate this. When you move up like this on a market, like, I know a lot of people get excited, and that's just a normal, like, amateur type trader thing to do. And I'm not calling any of you amateurs or calling anyone out there uneducated. This is just the normal human nature of trading, right? I used to be like this. Everyone at one point is like this. They see big upside and they get very excited, but they don't think about whether this is a strong move or if this is just a fake out. And when you see strong upside like this, guys, look at the volume on the volume profile. You can see in this zone right here, look at how weak that volume was on the upside. Look at the volume profile. Look at the void. Look at the void in volume in this area. When you get a move like this and you see a void in volume on the volume profile, you should never be trusting that move. And you can see as soon as we came back into that void in volume, look at how quick that came back to the downside. So just a really good takeaway, guys, over the last few days. This is a really good learning lesson for some, to just make sure when you see big upside, especially in the market of 2022, to make sure that you are really focusing on whether this move is legitimate, whether that is based off strong volume, whether that is behind a strong technical factor, or whether that is just a fake move to the upside on low volume and something that we could definitely see sell into again. So really good sort of explanation there of how that happened and why that happened. Look at that void in volume on the volume profile. And you're going to see this even better on the ES. I'll show you guys this on the ES, and it's going to be even cleaner to see. Okay, so very nice stuff, guys. Today, I'm looking for either a rejection at 11.8 or a move down to 11.5. That's what I'm hoping to see. Hoping to see that rejection at 11.8 and try to play into that rejection. Of course, economic data in about 19 minutes could definitely change this, but that is what I'm looking at for right now. Okay, ES. 4-hour chart. Let's look at what happened here on the ES. So we moved up into that 39.50 level. We talked about this level yesterday. Very nice little double top there yesterday on the ES. You can see it very cleanly. We moved back down, and what did we do? We moved into an extremely low volume void in price action that we saw off that Friday breakout. We broke above the FOMC highs on Friday, right? And we just popped to the upside. Technical breakout, something that's going to happen. Is it something you trust? Not really. So you can see, move back to the downside, right into that void of volume, and now we are back below the highs of that FOMC pop that we saw back on the 15th of June. So if I zoom in here, what am I watching today on the hourly chart? I am watching to see how the ES reacts right here at 38.40. This is the previous rejection point from FOMC. You guys can see it right here. I'm looking to see how it reacts today. Do we get a rejection again right here this morning on the ES at this previous rejection point? If we reject here at 38.40, then I would say you probably see some downside. The next support level is around 3,800. That's what I'm watching. Why am I watching 3,800? That is because it is the wick low of May. You can see the low of this candle is 39. What is the low of this candle? 38.07. 38.07 is the low of this candle back from May 20th, and that is what I'm watching. 38.07, 3,800. That would be that would give me the confirmation that we could see more downside if we break that level. You can see very nice uptrend. If we break that trend, this is just a very clean bear flag, right? If we break this uptrend, this is a very clean 4-hour bear flag. So watching that today, guys, 38.40 rejection, 3,800 support, a little bit of a range. Let's see how it moves out of that. Want to show you guys the volume profile on the ES because it's clear as day. Let's go to the hourly. Look at this, guys. All right, very clear. So you can see we pushed higher on Friday, just a straight up move, virtually straight up. I mean, just vertical. Hourly candles straight up. Look at the volume. Look at the volume. Extremely light. Huge void in volume. When you come back into that level, you get an equal reaction, right? Equal to the upside means equal to the downside. Just as quick. No one is actually going to buy in this area, right? These are not real buyers, right? So Watch out, guys, for that. I would watch for that rejection at 3840 today, and I would watch out for the support at 3800. A little bit of a tight range. We'll see which way this goes. Obviously, macroeconomic factors definitely play a part in this move today. So watch out for that. Dow, the Dow broke that support that it was trying to hold up. You guys can see the Dow was trying to hold this 31,300 level from back here. It tried to consolidate, and it cracked right below it, and it gave up basically that entire Friday move. Right now, it's trying to hold the 30,800 area, the previous highs here. That's what I would be watching on the Dow, guys. If you break below the 30,800, these previous wick highs, right here, right, 1, 2, 3. If you break below those highs, then I would say that this could move more to the downside. If you break below those highs. Right there at 30,800. Russell, pullback, retest, actually looks decent, but obviously I'm not trading small caps in this market, I have no interest. However, you guys can see right here, you have a previous support, all in this zone, that turned into a resistance, that is trying to turn into support again. So you can watch that right there around 1740 on the Russell. If it holds, maybe you get a little bit of upside on the small caps, but not really something that I would trust. I don't see, do I see a cup and handle? Dad G, I'm not looking at anything bullish in this market. I'm just going to be honest with you, man. I'm not going to trust upside technical formations. You got to at some point agree that there is quite nothing bullish about this market. And, chasing upside formations in this market just doesn't seem right. If I miss it to the upside, I will gladly miss upside, guys. I have little to no worry about missing upside in this market. I have plenty of shares in my long term, and I'm not going to be the guy that's trying to chase any possible upside in this market. If it happens, great. If it happens and I don't see it, fantastic. But I'm not going to be the one that is looking for upside in a market that's clearly bearish. So I wouldn't look for bullish formations personally. It's just not. I think you just have to ignore that for now. You're gonna drive yourself crazy trying to find all these possible bullish things that just are not happening, guys. Nothing bullish about this chart. Nothing. There is nothing bullish about the chart on the NASDAQ and ES. I'm sorry to say that, but there's just not. So stop looking for it. In my opinion, that's my personal opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but there's no positive things that are going on for equities as of right now. Next, Google. Hopefully you guys hopefully that makes sense. The futures, guys, of course, if you want to get this analysis in a text format, I do it every single day in a Discord for free. Check it out down below. I just post the futures analysis that I do here in a text format. So if you miss it or if you want to see it in a different format, make sure to check that out. Okay, Google. You guys can see we talked about this rejection at 2400 yesterday, and it was quite beautiful, right? This is what it looked like before. I'll go ahead and pull up the analysis that I post here in the charts. So it's right here, guys. Google, right here. This is straight from the Discord chat. This is what we were looking at yesterday, right? Right here. We were looking at Google pushing into supply 1, 2, 3, and 4. We were saying how Google is in that supply, and it could definitely see some downside off that supply rejection. And there it is. So, beautiful move on Google. Congratulations. I know a lot of you guys caught this. Shout out to Joy in the chat. I think she made like $6,000 on this. So, shout out to you, Joy, if you're listening. That was sick, but awesome. So, nice move to the downside. Next level to watch, 225. 2225, right? 2,225 is this low from May, actually from April. It had a previous support here. It had a breakdown here. It had a previous rejection here, and it had some support here. So obviously, looking to see what happens at 2225. If Google breaks that level today, then I will definitely be looking for the break and retest of 2225 for more downside. So watching 2225 on Google today, definitely a level to be focusing on for that potential downside if the market is weak, if economic data aligns with the downside, right? These are all ifs, because in about 10 minutes we have economic data, which could change some of our analysis here. Tesla, she bit me yesterday, but she doesn't bite often for me. So I know I'm going to make back what I lost yesterday. Just a matter of time. Just a little bit of an unfortunate day for me yesterday, but obviously I still think there's plenty of opportunity here. So we were spot on with the analysis. I just didn't execute to my top, I didn't execute to my best ability. But clean rejection at supply. We talked about this yesterday. Very, very nice. And you can see the downside that we had, right? Clean rejection off that 760 supply zone. Nice downside. Now, today, I am watching a few things here. The first thing that I'm watching is 680. 680 is the low of this May candle right here. 680, definitely a level that I am watching today. So watch 680. If I break this down to a shorter term time frame, which is the hourly chart, I am watching the lows of last week. That is right here, which is where we're holding right now. It's around 685. So for me, this $5 zone is a level that I will be watching. In between 685 and 680. We had previous last week lows right here, and then we had that 680 low from back in May. If we break below these levels, then I definitely think you have downside. I think you have downside to the gap fill of 650. That will be my target. If I see us break that 680, I will be looking for the gap fill to 650 right there. That would be my target to the downside. If we get a push to the upside, I am looking for a rejection off 700. That would be a beautiful entry off a rejection off 700, right? Right there. If I see a push to 700, I'm looking for the rejection. If I see it, I'll look for that move to the downside. So that's my watch right now. If we break 700, there might be some upside on Tesla, but I am probably not going to trust much upside today. Even if we get it, I'll probably just let the shares ride, make money in my long term, and that'll be about it. So we'll see what happens today on Tesla, guys. But definitely looking for that 680, 685 test. I want to see what happens in that zone. Okay, Meta, gorgeous. Facebook, not Meta. This is a really clean chart, guys. Check this out. So yesterday, right? I'll go ahead and pull up the technical analysis we did yesterday. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Meta. So this is what it looked like yesterday. Right? We were looking at this yesterday. We were saying how Meta is pushing into a previous support that turned into resistance. And it turned into resistance again, right, guys? This is the most important thing to be watching on the stock market. And, you hear it all over the world, what indicator to watch, what technical formation and what EMA and the stochastic and the flow algo and all of this nonsense, in my opinion. Just look at this chart, right? It does not take rocket science for us to look at this chart, know where our previous supply and demand levels are, and understand that a previous support that has turned into resistance, that has pushed back into it on a weak market, will reject again. Maybe it doesn't, but you can clearly see in tons of examples that we talk about in this live stream how clean this works out. So there it is, guys. That's day over day on Facebook. Left side yesterday, right side today. Extremely clear. There's not a single indicator on this chart, and we called it out beautifully. So less is more, in my opinion. So very nice, very clean. You guys can see it right there. Beautiful downside. Congrats to anyone that caught that. I think a few of you guys did. Now you're watching 160. You're watching 160. 160 is the previous low. You guys can see it right here. Previous low. You're at it now. If you break this 160, you're coming down to that 153. Right? If you break the 160, you're coming down to the 153. So watch out for that. Beautiful rejection on Meta. Let's see if there's more continuation. I would look for the 160 break. Okay, let's continue. Coinbase. Not a good stock. Not a good stock. Yeah, I am watching this right here. I think this is a very clean rejection. It went a little bit further than I would have expected. I thought it was going to try to reject that 60. It went up to around 63. So it went a little bit north of where I thought it would break, right? What did it go up to? 63, sort of into this previous supply. You guys see all these lows here. So it just sort of got into this supply zone right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see it sort of popped into this supply, pushed into it, nasty rejection. Very nice. What is that right there, guys, right? Just a really beautiful bear flag. That is the definition of a bear flag. It's breaking down. Is there more downside? Possibly, yes. Could there be, a bounce? Maybe there's another bounce into the flag, the bottom of the flag, and then a rejection. Very possible as well. So it might not be as clean as maybe we want, but I will tell you that is a very clean bear flag. I would target the lows, maybe around 45, and see if that continues that bear flag continues, right? So watch that bear flag continuation on coin today, guys. I like this setup. Coin is also a very weak stock, so it should definitely find some weakness today. What is Bitcoin down today? Is Bitcoin down? Let's see. That'll give us some insight. Bitcoin's down 1%. It's at, if it breaks 20,000 today. Huh. It definitely could. It's just about there. Yeah. So, I would, if Bitcoin gets hit today, which it did overnight, Bitcoin got pretty beat up, then I would look for that coin continuation there. So, coin, bear flag, watch that downside if the market's weak. Okay? I'm just going to go over shop real quick just because someone asked and get it out of the way. I don't know. I can't help you on shop, unfortunately, because it's just a tough. On the first day, is it? Oh, damn. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot you can use this. I forgot you can use /BTC. Yeah, Bitcoin is sitting there. Wow, yeah. If Bitcoin drops this, guys, it's gonna get a little ugly for coin there. If Bitcoin drops this, it's gonna get a little ugly for coin. Shopify's a tough one today, guys. I probably would stay away from it just personally. If you want to just manage your risk the correct way, I would stay away from shop today. It's the first day of a split. I really have no idea how this is gonna react. You can see we had obviously a rejection point at all these levels. This is what it looked like yesterday. I will share with you guys again. So here it is. Here is yesterday straight from the chat. Here's shop, right? This is shop yesterday. You can clearly see that we were coming into a supply zone and we are breaking down off that supply zone. Yesterday, today, very clean. Just going off that supply. So it's the first day of a split, guys. I'm personally not going to be trading this. The contracts are going to be dirt cheap. I mean, they're going to be, I don't even know if they're updated yet. Probably not. No, they're not available yet. But I mean, they're going to be like pennies on the dollar, unfortunately. Shopify option contracts. So I really don't have interest in Shopify here. Maybe it continues. It probably does if the market's weak. But first day of the split, I'm going to let it work out. Let it sort of monitor, see how it reacts. That's really my game plan today. I don't really want to attack something that is sort of unknown, not something I want to mess around with today. Okay, let's just relax for a minute until the economic data comes out, and then we'll jump into Amazon, Boeing, XLE, NVIDIA, and sort of review some of the stuff we've already looked at. So let's go to the NASDAQ. Actually, you know what? Let's just go over the trade I took yesterday. Why not? Here's the trade I took yesterday, guys. Here's where things went wrong for me. I'll share it with you here. Here's where things went wrong for me yesterday. You can see right here, I was trading off this pre-market high. The day prior, I traded this pre-market high. You guys can see right here. This was the pre-market high I was watching previously, right? I was watching for this rejection of pre-market highs, and I caught it beautifully. I mean, I made like $1,000 in a few minutes, and it was a beautiful trade to the downside. Yesterday, I was looking for the same thing. I was looking for the exact same thing, all right? And I got caught up. I got chopped up because I got in here when I saw this wick. You guys can see this huge wick on the 1 minute chart. I saw this wick and I got aggressive. And that's just that's how the cookie crumbled. I got aggressive. It didn't work out for me instantly, and I had to stop out. I got chopped alive here for a few minutes. You can see it was just a chop fest. It popped higher. I didn't hold through this. Good thing I didn't, because this would have been ugly. And yeah, I mean, if I would have just held on, obviously if I hoped and prayed, yesterday would have been about a $15,000 green day. But yeah, that's just how it happens, guys. So that happened to me yesterday. I tried to play the same pre-market high rejection, and it didn't work out perfectly. And yeah, just had to take my loss. All right. GDP minus 1.6. Yeah, that's not good. How many consecutive down GDPs is that? How many consecutive down GDPs is a recession? I think that's 2 consecutive. Okay, so a working definition of a recession is 2 consecutive quarters of negative economic growth as measured by a country's gross domestic product. Is this, what was the last reading? Made 6K off your Rex? Nice, man. Nice, James. Well done. So this is the first one. Okay, so one more of these and your definition of recession is valid, right? So 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP, and that is a recession, right? I mean, we can go go on for days, guys. We're obviously in a recession. I mean, there's just nothing good going on. So yeah, this is final GDP for Q1, right? It's not Q2, it's final for Q1, right? So here we go. Here it is. Final GDP minus 1.6 versus the preliminary GDP of 1.5. Final core PCE price index plus 5. Oh yeah, we're moving down here. What else we got? Price index 7.1 versus 7.0. I mean, the big ones right here, right? Big ones right here. Today's going to be interesting. Today's going to get good. All right. So, very nice. Very nice. I mean, it's not very nice, but it is what it is, right? So, I mean, I just can't imagine a very bullish scenario here today, guys. I don't want to get too biased here before open. It's very easy to get too biased. You know, it's sometimes it's not too good to get too biased in the pre-market because things can definitely flip on you. But I just can't see there being a very positive sentiment here today after that. So yeah, downside is definitely looking pretty interesting today. All right. What's next? Amazon. I already went over the SPY, Chef. Go over to the beginning of the live stream. All right, 9 a.m. we have Powell, so we do have Powell at in about 27 minutes. See what happens. I mean, Powell's not going to say like ignore the GDP. It's not important. Like I don't see that changing very drastically. Pull up the Nasdaq again. What do you need to see, Deshumbi? Nasdaq. Yep, Nasdaq down. All right, Amazon. So, Amazon head and shoulder. You guys can see right here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Very clean. Very nice Amazon head and shoulder. A lot of you guys called this out actually in the live chat. So, shout out to you guys here in the chat. You guys called this out pretty nice. So, you can see left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And a really clean downside move. Very, very clean downside move. So I would look for more continuation. If this market is weak today, guys, if we start to see more downside, then I would absolutely be looking for the lows right here around 101, 100. I mean, if the NASDAQ goes to lows, then I would assume that Amazon's going to go to these lows as well. So I would look for continuation on Amazon today, guys. Look for that downside off this head and shoulder. I don't think you missed it yet, especially if you see more downside on the market. I don't think you have missed the entire move yet. I still think you have some room towards this 101. So I would watch out for that. I would look for that rejection and downside move here towards that previous demand around 101, 102. Definitely something that I'll be watching here today. Okay, Boeing, 4-hour chart on Boeing. You guys know we talked about a 142 rejection here on Boeing. You guys can see this, right? Rejection, 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 and look at what it did yesterday. Look at this 1-minute chart yesterday, guys. You got right above 142. You had a breakout of that level in the morning. We talked about the possibility of a breakout. We got it. But look at the weakness the rest of the day showed. Look at the weakness. We couldn't even try to break above. We couldn't even hold it. And look at this. Look at this right here. You can see right there a very clean rejection of 142 on the intraday. We pushed into it and rejected 142 on the intraday. That right there confirms to me that there is definitely resistance up here. Confirms to me that there's a lot of supply, a lot of sellers stacked up. I would look for the downside off this 142. I'm waiting to see if it unfolds a little more. It's not quite, giving up. So I wouldn't say it's ready just yet. But if I start to see this thing unravel, sort of slip on Boeing, if the Dow starts to break down, then I'm definitely going to be looking for Boeing here off this 142 supply zone. So keep an eye on BA here, guys. Could be a very nice trade if we get that downside move. Wow, XLE still going, huh? Holy shit. Oh, excuse me. You guys can see XLE, nice upside this morning. So here's what happened yesterday on XLE. Let's first look at the hourly chart. Let's start with the hourly and then go over what happened yesterday. So you guys know we've been talking about the pullback on the XLE, right? The opportunity back to the upside. You can see it here on the daily chart. This is something we've been watching for a few weeks now. Starting to get that upside, right? Starting to get that confirmation. Now, if we go to the hourly chart, we can see that we were aiming for a break of 75, and we were watching the break of 77. So you can see yesterday we got above the 75 in the pre-market. We came back down to it, and what did we thought? We said we want to see 75 hold as support. And look at what it did yesterday, guys. Look what the XLE did yesterday. It turned the 75 resistance into support. I think that's very bullish. And you can see today that we are pushing towards that 77. Now, I didn't get an XLE yesterday for one reason, and the reason is because I was a little bit worried about the 77 level, and if I go to the 1-minute chart, I'm going to show you what happened at 77. Look at the level, look at this 77 level yesterday, guys. I didn't want to buy it off this just straight upside. I wanted to wait for the pullback and the hold to 75. But after seeing the rejection at 77 yesterday, I didn't want to get in on this retest just yet. I wanted to see the 77 level. I wanted to see how we reacted to it again. So you can see we are pushing back into it, but that 77 level little spooked me out a little bit yesterday because you can see the clean rejection there. That is straight from the hourly chart, right? That is straight from the hourly chart. It is right here. So you can see it's very clear that it's going to try to reject 77. So do I want to get in to try to hope that it gets through 77? Not really. Not really, guys. I don't really want to get in here hoping that it breaks 77. I'd rather just wait to see that breakthrough and then maybe try to trade it. But yeah, I mean, it's a little bit questionable. The entry point's a little bit difficult here because there is a lot of rejections here that are possible. But either way, guys, if you just zoom out, if you take something long term, that might be the right way to play it. XLE is clearly coming off a pretty nice support level. I think Warren Buffett bought a bunch of Oxy. You guys saw that? Warren Buffett bought like a ton of Oxy. So I think, that he probably sees something similar. So yeah, XLE, Oxy, CVX, XOM. I would watch these for bounces. Okay, last but not least, NVIDIA. NVIDIA, 4-hour chart. you guys can see, is Bitcoin getting trashed? Yeah, it's under 20. What's coin doing? Coin not quite moving yet, but probably will. All right, NVIDIA. Bear flag, 4-hour chart. Not really too sure why it rejected where it did, to be honest, guys. It's pretty choppy, not really a very clean chart. You guys can see right here. I mean, it's sort of messy in this area. I don't really see anything. Like, let's say I draw a line here, right, where it rejected. You see anything that really aligns with that? Not really. Like, look, it's like right in the middle of candles here, right in the middle of candles here, right in the middle of candles here. So why it rejected right there at 174? Probably just based off the NASDAQ rejection. That's probably where it based it off of. But you can see rejection, bear flag, starting to move under that flag pattern. I would watch the 144 demand there, guys. I'm sorry, 155 demand. If we break that 155 demand, then you absolutely have downside here. You guys know we've been watching this 155 demand. If we break that 155 demand here, we definitely have some downside, maybe even to that 120. Still very possible. So watch out for 155 today on NVIDIA, guys. All right, that is what I had for you today. Now we're going to go over the tickers that you guys want to look at, and then we are going to get out of here, and we're going to start our day. If you guys could take 1 second, press the like button, that would be fantastic. I would very much appreciate that. If you enjoy the streams, that really helps out. BMY, Bristol Myers Squibb. What is this in the, what is this in? What is BMY in? Oh, it's a healthcare name. Big part. Yeah, it's okay. It's number 9 in the XLV. So number 9 in the XLV for BMY. So we know that it's going to be correlated to healthcare. And if we go to the XLV, we can see that the XLV has had a pretty decent push over the last few days. You can see right here, pretty decent push. Do you wait for it to slow down a little bit? Is this a legitimate hold? Like, it's just right back into this area. So yeah, tough to say, honestly. And do you buy BMY at all-time highs? Probably not. I would probably wait to see it maybe pull back to the 78. I think that's what you put in there. Break and retest? Yeah, that's what I would do. You're spot on. Wait for it to hold this 78. That's what I'd look for. You need to see it start to curl here, right? You need to wait for it to start to curl here at 78. That's what I would look for, personally. Okay? FedEx. Yeah, same thing. Break and retest. You need to hold 238. 238.50. That has to hold there, right? It's up this morning. Actually, right off that 238 level. It's actually sort of looking like a break and retest already. So yeah, you gotta see FedEx hold this previous rejection point. Rejection here, rejection here. It needs to hold here. UNH, healthcare name. So I'm not a buyer of UNH here, personally, guys. I would have been a buyer down here, but I missed it, right? I totally missed it. This is your buy zone, right? You want to get real good trades with good risk to reward, you buy it down here. Buying here, as you start to get into supply, is a tough sell for me. You can see rejections, you support, rejection, rejection, and a possible rejection again. Tough for me to say that this is bullish here on UNH. Maybe if there's some extreme strength on the healthcare names, then this continues, but I'd have to see this start to hold up above this supply here for a few days before I can get bullish buying UNH after a move of, I mean, this thing just moved 15% in like 5 days, guys. So I would be careful chasing that upside. Dow, DOW. Yeah, what a downside move this has had. It looks like it's starting to reject some of these lows. Doesn't look very bullish to me. So yeah, I'd watch out for the rejection of this 53 area. This previous low looks like it's turning it into resistance. So watch out for that. Gush oil. Yeah, same thing, guys. Same thing. If you think, right, if you think the XLE pushes, then this is going to do the same thing. It's the same exact chart. All these stocks are directly correlated. All right. If you think energy bounces off this demand, then you're going to see CVX higher, XOM higher. You're going to see Oxy higher. You're going to see Gush higher. Right. You're going to see these move higher. So same thing. They all look the exact same. If the XLE pushes, this will push as well. We already did Tesla, MRK, Merck. Let's get more time here. Yeah, Merck's trying to hold this previous high here. That's what I'd look for. Merck profit taking? Yeah, probably. I mean, it's a pretty big push, double top rejection at all-time highs. I would say that's probably profit taking. So, yeah, I would be careful going long here. Looks like a pretty nasty double top. TTD, move to consumer staples. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, same stuff here, guys. It's all sort of bouncing off this demand, but how long do we trust it, right? How long do we trust it? XLP, XLE, XLV, all bounced off that pretty extreme demand, but how long do we trust it? Go to the Analyze tab, Chef. Analyze, and then type in the ticker, right? The ETF, and it'll show you what's in it. Okay, last but not least, TTD. Guys, I go over the SPY. Just go to the beginning of the live stream. It's the ES. It's the ES futures. It's the same as the SPY, guys. Same exact levels. Just take a 0 off the end. Okay, Trade Desk. I would say this probably is aiming towards these lows here on TTD. I would say you're looking at another test of these 40 lows on TTD. Clear as day downtrend. This isn't changing, right? All right, clear as day downtrend, and I would say you'd retest that 40 low. I will go over Apple real quick because I think that's important, and then we're going to jump out of here. So 4-hour chart on Apple, guys. Here's what I'm watching today. You can see that Apple is right back below 138. This was a previous support that turned into a resistance, and we are back below it. So if Apple is back below a previous resistance point, it's going to be weak, right? If you stay below, oh, look at that. I didn't even realize this. I did not even realize this. Look at that rejection this morning, guys, on Apple. Look at where did it just reject? 138 on the T, right? Right on the T, 138. So if it stays below 138, guys, Apple's going to be bearish. If it can get back above 138, maybe there's some opportunity, but I would look for the rejection of 138. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. I hope you did enjoy the live stream. I hope you enjoy the live stream on a daily basis. If you do, press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Try to get me to 50,000 subs by the end of this year. We're almost there. I think we got about maybe 1,500 more subs we need. So if you guys have anyone you know that may like the live streams, if you want to share the live streams, if you want to get the word out, help me out. That would be awesome. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys have a fantastic trading day. And let's think. What's something to leave it off at? Let's leave it off at, when you have a trading loss, don't make it worse. Yesterday, I could have easily got back into the market, and I could have easily tried to make back the loss I did yesterday. But you have to understand that comes with consequences. I could have turned a $600 red day into a $1,000 red day, into a $2,000 red day. It may look easy in hindsight, looking at yesterday. Obviously, in hindsight, it does look very easy. But I wouldn't have known that the NASDAQ was just going to drop all day. So getting back into the market, maybe the market bounced where I didn't expect it, and I go from 600 to 1,000 down, and I really get upset that I even got myself back involved. So red day like yesterday, walk away. Today's a new day. Motivate yourself for the next day. Make it back. That's how I'll leave you. Have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.